It's been a bad start of the week for the Manchester United fans. They lost 2-1 yesterday to Brighton. So they are not very happy this morning. The sports team will come and remind all of them that they lost. And they've been eliminated from the FA Cup. Already they are out of the League Cup. No Champions League football. Charlie, their trouble is plenty. And the sports team will come and remind us that Chelsea won over the weekend. They won by 5-1. The only team in London. And after sports, we'll get right into the conversations on our big conversation segment this morning. Former Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta is still in the news. Refused help. We have lined up all the experts for you this morning to break it down, what it means. He refused help from Ghana's embassy. Well, not entirely, because he said he wanted his lawyers to be present. There are those who are viewing this from different lenses. That, I mean, he is well in his right to ask that his lawyers be present. That is very true. And there are those who say that why is he putting himself in all of this? He should just come home. Home is waiting for him. Home is calling. So we'll get into all of that this morning. We'll have a conversation also about how pensioners are rejecting the 10% increase. They say that it is inadequate. We'll speak to some few pensioners on the calculation principle, what they want to see, what improvements they want government to make, and a whole lot more. So stay with us here on 3FM on Sunrise 92.7 as we kickstart your morning with you. We're live also on all our social media platforms at 3FM 927. Leave your thoughts with us. We'll be glad to share them with the rest of the world. Share your thoughts with us on any of the stories we'll speak about this morning, particularly as we get into the newspaper review segment, starting with the Ghanaian Times newspaper. On the front page, President Mahama orders review of NLA KGL contract. That story is on page 21 of the paper. Also on the front page of the Ghanaian Times, page 22, Ken Oforiatta to appear before U.S. immigration judge January 20. That's according to the Attorney General. We'll get into the details shortly. Also, SNID increases monthly pensions by 10%. But they say that it is inadequate. That is also on page 11 of the paper. Still on page 11 of the Ghanaian Times, deposit mobilization strategy strengthens NIB PLC's financial performance. On page 11 of the Ghanaian Times newspaper. The back page has some sports for us. 11 Wonders grab season's second win. GPL Mediema Titan grip Kotoko drop points again. Also, Wayo's late strike gives Hearts edge over Hohoe United. These are the stories on the back page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper. We'll get into the details pretty shortly. And now to the Daily Guide newspaper on the front page. Ken is the leader Ghana wants. That's according to Natoshi. Natoshi says that Ken is the leader that Ghana wants. Also, the big story on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper. Samira cries foul over Bawumia smear campaign. We'll get the details also later in the day. The Archives newspaper, Tema Dawenya Road project crawls as commuters suffer. Motorists lament heavy traffic, accused contractor first sky of Go Slow. We'll get to the details shortly. KGL welcomes review of NLA contract, commits to delivering greater value to government. That's on page 3 of the paper. Polluted River Ewusu shows signs of recovery after NIMA's operation. That's on page 5 of the Archives newspaper. Polluted River Ewusu shows signs of recovery after NIMA's operation. We'll get the details and we'll tell you what exactly the paper is saying. Hohoi MP fights Amewu over ownership of stadium as roads deteriorate, government policies untrumpeted. These are the stories on the front page of the Archives newspaper. We'll get to the Today newspaper. On the front page, HIV infection surge in Ghana amid high prevalence among female sex workers, homosexuals. That's according to the NACP. And that story is on page 3 of the Today newspaper. We'll get to the details also shortly. Also on the front page of the Today's newspaper, corruption fight still government priority. Corruption fight still government priority, according to the Vice President, Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman. We'll get to the details also shortly. And finally, on the front page of the Today newspaper, unauthorized students prohibited from registering for the WASI examination. Unauthorized students prohibited from registering for the WASI examination. And now to the Supreme newspaper. They say that Brian blocks Baumia. That's on page 3 of the paper. From meeting Kumohene, Opare Ansa spits fire. Brian blocks Baumia. That's on page 3. From meeting Kumohene, Opare Ansa spilled fire. We'll get to the details shortly. Also, KK Sapon backs Kennedy Japan for NPP 2028 flag bearership on page 3 of the paper. Angela List granted bail as CID probes alleged multi-million-dollar embezzlement at BCM International. Also on the front page of the Supreme newspaper, Ghanaians fume over alleged NDC slots in security services on page 4 of the Supreme newspaper. KGL welcomes review, committed to delivering more value to NLA and GRA. Police grab 7 highway robbers, and Okre MP launches Get Okre walking tourism campaign at Edukrom Ojura, also on page 3 of the paper. At the back page, some sports as well. Venus Williams, 45, set to make Australian Open. Okay, we'll get the details also. Ruben Amorim fired by Manchester United after turbulent managerial spell. The Daily Post on the front page, deposit mobilization strategy drives NIB PLC performance. That story is on pages 6 and 7 of the paper. It comes with the pictures of the managing director of the NIB in a group photograph with Bupura Jinapo II, paramount chief of the Bupe traditional area, and vice president of the National House of Chiefs. There's also the overlord of the lobby people of Gua in Burkina Faso after the NIB stakeholder meeting to highlight the national and regional importance of the bank's transformation. Oferiatta could be in Ghana sooner than expected. That's according to the Deputy Attorney General, Justice Shrem Sai. We'll get to the details shortly, that Oferiatta could be in Ghana sooner than expected. We'll get that shortly. No Ghana card, no forex transaction. Government announces new measures in anti-money laundering drive, according to the Daily Post. Now to the Custodian newspaper. Baumia is NPP's best for 2028. That story is on page 3. 118 parliamentary candidates affirm, and that happened last week. Some 118 candidates, well, parliamentary candidates, they gathered at the press center here in Accra, and they threw in their support for Dr. Baumia, one of 5 aspirants for the flag bearership race of the NPP. Also, KGL backs contract review, committed to adding value to NLA and GRA. Ken promises jobs under his presidency. That's on page 2. Minority decries choking insecurity under Mahama, also on page 2 of the paper. And still on security, police arrest notorious highway robbers. That's on page 4 of the paper. Also, 70% of GIGSM loans for poultry, rice, garments production. That's according to the CEO, and on page 12 of the paper. To the Republic Press newspaper, Brian makes waves up north with massive endorsement. Brian makes waves up north with massive endorsement. That is on the front page of the Republic newspaper. Also continued on page 3 of the paper. Police grab 7 highway robbers. KGL welcomes review, committed to delivering more value to NLA and the GRA. Ken Oforiatta rejects help from Ghana Embassy in US in absence of lawyers. Momo vendor allegedly commits suicide in Hohoi. Mahama running Ghana with blood money, according to the minority. They say that President John Dramani Mahama is running Ghana with blood money. That's on page 7 of the paper. And it comes with the picture of the deputy whip of the minority, Jerry Ahmed Shaib. The exclusive newspaper now, front page, KGL welcomes review, committed to delivering more value to NLA and GRA. Police arrest 7 notorious highway robbery syndicate, retrieve firearms. GES threatens sanctions over illegal WASI registrations. SNIT raises minimum pension by 36.52%. Crime drops as IGP outlines pleas reforms. NDC leadership denies knowledge of recruitment letter. These are the stories that the exclusive newspaper is reporting this morning. I'll take you to the Daily Democrat, the front page, banner headline: Deposit mobilization strategy drives NIB PLC's performance. GES warns heads against illegal WASI registrations. SNIT pension up 10% to 36.52% for 2026. DVLA assures car owners of adequate time for onboarding registration. KGL welcomes partnership review for delivering more value to the NLA and the GRA. Brane Champon blocks Baumia from meeting Kumauhene. Opariansa spilled fire. The Traco dismisses money laundering claims in real estate. That's on the front page of the Daily Democrat newspaper. I have 3 more stories to go this morning. Now to the Insight newspaper. The front page, KGL welcomes review, committed to delivering more value to the GRA and the NLA. Low-income pensioners get major boost as SNIT raises minimum pensions by 36.52% for 2026. We'll get the details. I like how the papers they're each framing it differently. Some say that SNIT pension up by 10% and the pensioners are unhappy. Others say SNIT pensions up to 36.52%. Means completely very different things. I like the idea. Also, Mahama outlines 5-pillar agenda towards resetting Ghana. That's on the front page of the Insight newspaper. Lands Minister secures government assets, vows to rescue abandoned project. On page 5 of the Insight newspaper as well. Protesters urge UK government to grow a spine and stand up to Trump. That's on page 6 of the paper. 170 delegates of anti-imperialist forces launch united front against U.S. aggression in Venezuela and bullying of countries towards a third world war. These are some of the stories that the Inside newspaper has captured on this front page. I'll take you to the National Voice newspaper. The National Voice newspaper. KGL welcomes review, committed to delivering more value to NLA and the GRA. 118 2024 NPP PCs declare support for Dr. Baumia in presidential primaries. I'll expand my community engagement to mosque and other associations. That's according to Kuka. And police grab 7 highway robbers. These are some of the stories that the National Voice is reporting this morning. And get some of the details. This one from the National Voice. 118 2024 NPP PCs declare support for Dr. Bawumia in presidential primaries. I'll read to you what the paper says. It says a large group of NPP parliamentary candidates from the 2024 general elections, they have publicly declared their support for Dr. Bawumia ahead of the party's presidential primary scheduled for January 31 this year. The endorsement announced at the press conference further consolidates internal backing for Dr. Bawumia, who is the NPP's 2024 presidential candidate and is seeking re-election to lead the party into the 2028 general election. The former parliamentary candidates described their collective decision as a clear demonstration of unity and cohesion within the party, noting that the majority of frontline representatives selected by the NPP in 2024, they are now rallying behind a single candidate, and that candidate, they say, is Dr. Bawumia. They said their declaration built on an earlier endorsement by 63 NPP members of parliament who won their seat in the 2024 elections, signaling growing momentum within the party's ranks. According to the group, the decision followed extensive consultations across party structures and the wider society. And these engagements included polling station executives, constituency executives, former party officers, councils of elders and patrons, as well as youth groups, market women, farmers, fisher folk, business leaders, opinion leaders, religious figures, and traditional authorities. They said the feedback from these consultations revealed overwhelming support for Dr. Bawumia across constituencies. The former candidate said their support was grounded in sober analysis, duty and conviction, and not influenced by inducement, coercion, or pressure. They say that they have not been pressured, they have not been induced, they have not been coerced. Their decision to throw their weight behind Dr. Bawumia, it is coming on the back of grounded, sober reflection, analysis of duty, and then conviction. They described Dr. Bawumia, the former vice president of Ghana, as a visionary leader with competence, integrity, and innovation, citing his role in Ghana's digital transformation, his contributions to economic management, and his leadership in initiatives such as the Domestic Gold Purchase Program, and broader macroeconomic stabilization efforts. They further presented Dr. Bawumia as the most prepared, the most experienced. They say he is the winnable candidate for the party's future, with a clear vision centered on digitalization, economic transformation, infrastructure development, human capital growth, agricultural modernization, and then good governance. The group pledged to work actively with him to secure victory in both the presidential primaries and future general elections. While Koveno in Accra, and during interrogation, Ishmael confessed to his involvement in the robbery and implicated Kwame Bediako, also known as Starboy, as the gang's ringleader. Following this lead, police apprehended Bediako at Abelempe Agape. Ablekuma Agape, I beg your pardon. The police arrested him at Ablekuma Agape. A search of his residence led to the discovery of a pump-action gun hidden in a fence wall, along with 4 BB cartridges. The suspect admitted to multiple robbery incidents, confirming the group's extensive criminal operations along major transport routes, including the Tema Motorway, Achimota Forest Road, Pokuase, Amasam and Suhum, and Koko, and the Josu Kumasi stretch. And the suspect in custody now includes Salia Muhammad alias Kwekunua. He's only 27. Kofi Ishmael alias Ishmael Ado alias Kofi Ketwa, 32 years old. Kwame Bidiako alias Starboy alias Nkopo. There's also Kojo Kalovi alias Aticho. Then Mumuni Abdul Razak alias Mogambo. He is 39 years old. There's Kwesi Akambule alias Kwesi Fresh. Kwesi Fresh is 27 years old. And then there's Kwame Bonsu. And Kwame Bonsu is also known as Kilentia. The paper says that one suspect is currently receiving medical care while under police supervision. Authorities continue efforts to apprehend remaining members of the syndicate. Investigations revealed that the group had also been involved in previous armed robberies targeting market women and motorists, including a case that resulted in the death of a driver. And some of the gang members were reported to have jumped bail in pending court cases, underlying their persistent criminal behavior. Police have recovered firearms, ammunition, machetes, knives, mobile phones, and other items that they believe are proceeds of crime. And Superintendent Juliana Obing, the head of the public affairs of the Accra Regional Police Command, reassured the public that law enforcement is committed to cracking down on criminal activity. Citizens with information relevant to ongoing investigations have been urged to report to the nearest. Should be permanent. Growth and consolidation must be permanent, stressing that national development programs must be medium to long term and anchored in broad national consensus. He said the second mandate would be used deliberately to raise Ghana's economic and governance architecture to a level that no succeeding government can reverse, adding that democracy must deliver tangible improvements in livelihoods if public confidence in the system is to be sustained. The president's vision is structured around 5 interlinked pillars, which together forms part of what he describes as the Ghana we want. Number 1 is a vibrant and a resilient economy. And it says that under the first pillar, President Mahama said a sustainable Ghana must be built on a productive, diversified, and shock-resistant economy. He announced a decisive shift away from excessive dependence on raw material exports toward value addition, industrial production, and knowledge-based enterprise. He outlined plans to roll out policies requiring value addition to Ghana's minerals, petroleum, and agricultural products before exports. The second pillar, according to the paper, is human capital as the engine of growth. The second pillar places human capital development at the heart of national transformation. It says no nation has ever risen beyond the quality of its people. And President Mahama said, arguing that education, skills, health, and innovation are true foundations of sustainable development. He said government focus would go beyond access to education to emphasis on quality and relevance. According to the paper, is environmental stewardship and climate resilience. A major focus of the address was the fourth pillar, environmental stewardship and climate resilience, where President Mahama warned that Ghana cannot build a prosperous future while destroying the natural foundations on which livelihoods depend. Dr. Philip Ohemianochi is the clinical coordinator at the Shira Government Hospital in the Sunyani West Municipality. He has warned that the nation will experience more babies with body deformities. Warning that the nation will experience more babies with body deformities and abnormalities if we don't control galamsey, if illegal mining activities, popularly known as galamsey, are not brought under control. And the self-decisive efforts, pragmatic and urgent measures ought to be put in place to stem the uncontrolled exposure of mercury into water bodies, food sources, and the environment. Newspaper, the Daily Democrat newspaper. This story is on education, and it says that GES warns heads against illegal WASI registrations. It comes with a picture of the Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu. The story says that the management of the Ghana Education Service has cautioned heads of senior high and technical schools against the unauthorized registration of candidates for the West African Senior School Certificate Examination. According to the GES, it has come to its attention that some school heads are illegally registering Form 2 students and private candidates for the examination, often in exchange for money. Management described the practice as unlawful and unethical, and GS clarified that heads of schools are authorized to register only Form 3 students. Only Form 3 students whose academic progression from Form 1, from year 1 to year 3 can be verified and traced in the school's official database. The registration of Form 2 students or private candidates by any school or by any school official is strictly prohibited. The service stressed that any head of school or official involved in such unauthorized registration, including the collection of fees, will be deemed to have engaged in misconduct and abuse of office. And the management warned that breaches of this directive will attract severe sanctions in line with Ghana Education Service and West African Examination Council's regulations, without exception. The caution was contained in a statement signed by the head of public relations of the GES, Daniel Fengi. So if you are a school head, you are a school official, and you love to register students who are not in Form 3 because of the money that you get from it, the GS is warning you that be careful. The GS says stop it. Only register people or students who are in Form 3 and whose academic progression from Form 1 to Form 2 to Form 3 can be traced and can be verified. GS says that if you do this, you'll attract severe sanctions that will be in line with the Ghana Education Service and the West African Examination Council regulations. They say that if you do this, you're engaging in misconduct and then abuse of office. So beware and advise yourself. says that the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT, has announced a 10% increase in monthly pensions for the 2026 financial year, in line with its mandate to provide retirement income security for pensioners. According to the trust, the increment applied to all 261,000 pensioners on its payroll as of December 31, 2025. The increase is expected to incur an additional cost of 616 million cedis to the trust in 2026, and SNIT projects total pension payments for 2026 to exceed 7 billion cedis, with a total monthly pension payout of about 580 million cedis. In addition to the general indexation, SNIT announced an increase in the minimum monthly pension from 300 to 400 cedis, representing a 36% rise. And this will cover about 2,964 new pensioners, while existing pensioners on the minimum pension will see their payments rise to 409 cedis 56 pesos, 409 cedis 56 pesos from 300 cedis. That's the minimum. So from 300 cedis to 409 cedis 56 pesos. The Director General of SNIT, Mr. Kwesi Afrebain, speaking at a press conference on the 2026 indexation, said the increase reflected the Trust's commitment to improving the welfare of pensioners. And he explained that the increment was intended to enhance the purchasing power of pensioners, particularly in the face of changing economic situations. He said SNIT remain committed to ensuring that improvement in the economy translated into better benefits for pensioners, describing them as the core reason for the existence of the trust. We'll get more details also, and he disclosed that as of December 2025, SNIT had 202,000 cedis. 261,925 pensioners on its payroll and about 2.2 million active contributors, adding that plans were underway to onboard an additional 200,000 contributors in 2026 to broaden conversation and broaden coverage and strengthen the scheme. The chief actuary of SNIT explained that the indexation was a statutory requirement under Section 80 of the National Pensions Act, Act 2008, Act 766. Meanwhile, the Concerned SNIT Pensioners Forum, CSPF, they have expressed concern over the pension increase announced by SNIT, describing them as inadequate and insufficient to address the harsh economic realities confronting retirees, particularly low-income pensioners. The forum said although acknowledged SNIT's efforts to adjust pensions, it maintained that the increment fell short of alleviating pensioner poverty and did little to cushion retirees against rising living costs. Well, according to the forum, it had requested that SNIT increase the minimum pensions to 600 cedis and implement pension increments of between 15 to 20%. So instead of the now 409 cedis 56 pesos, and that is from the old 300 cedis, they are asking that the increment be taken to 600 cedis. And then the increment should range between 15 to 20%.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
But the recent increment in pension by SNIT did not meet their demands. A petition requested SNIT to ensure that the 2026 pension adjustment restore parity or restore part of the significant erosion in the value of SNIT pensions caused by years of increases that lag behind inflation and the national minimum wage. This included raising the minimum monthly pension to 600 cedis and granting an average increase of 15 to 20%, the statement said.
On 3FM, the best in the morning.
Says Kenneth Furiata to appear before U.S. immigration judge on January 20. That's according to the finance minister. Kenneth Nanayao Kuntunkunuku Furiata will appear before an immigration judge in the United States of America on January 20 after he was arrested for refusing to leave the United States. That's according to the paper. Dr. Dominic Kayeni, Ghana's Attorney General and Minister of Justice, has said, well, speaking to the media, Dr. Kayeni stated the U.S. Department of State gave Mr. Furiata up to November 29 last year to leave the United States upon the revocation of his B1, B2 visa, but he refused to do so. And the Attorney General and Minister of Justice explained that the appearance of Mr. Furiata before an immigration judge on Tuesday, January 20, 2026 was different from the extradition process. We know that Mr. Furiata, who left Ghana for the United States on January 4 for medical treatment at Mayo Clinic, Minnesota, according to the paper, was arrested on the morning of January 6, 2026 in Washington, D.C. by agents of the Immigration and Customs Enforcement. People call them ICE, but popularly they're called ICE of the United States. Until his arrest by ICE, the former Minister of Finance was declared a fugitive of justice by Ghana's Office of the Special Prosecutor in connection with corruption-related offenses. And Mr. Furiata, Strategic Mobilization Limited, a revenue assurance company, and 6 others were charged with 78 counts of alleged procurement breaches and then causing financial loss of about 1.4 billion cedis to the state. And the trial is ongoing before a high court in Accra. The facts are that Kenneth Furiata was arrested when he emerged from a magnificent luxury apartment building where he had been living in the U.S. by the ICE. When agents surrounded him, led him into a vehicle and drove him away to a detention facility 89 miles away. The paper says that the facts are that Ken Furiata was arrested when he emerged from, quote, a magnificent luxury apartment building. And that's where he has been living in the U.S. The paper says he was driven to the Caroline Detention Facility in Virginia, about an hour-and-a-half drive from where he was arrested. He was arrested at the entrance of the Westlight apartment complex in Washington, D.C. Sources say that Ken Furiata, until his arrest by ICE, lived in the Westlight building with his son and his wife. The Westlight building is less than a mile from the White House, about 20 minutes walk. Located in the affluent West End neighborhood of Washington, D.C. The Westlight building is renowned for its security and proximity to some of the city's most magnificent landmarks, attracting affluent and prominent residents. Side, the Deputy Attorney General and Minister for Justice has disclosed that Mr. Furiata declined diplomatic assistance from Ghana's mission in Washington, D.C. Currently, the Ghana Embassy in Washington, D.C. is trying to assist the former finance minister whilst in detention, but he is refusing to collaborate with the Ghanaian mission in assisting him to be removed from the detention center. But the statement from the camp of Ken Furiata says that he's refusing because his lawyers are not present. And of course, this is something we'll be keeping an eye on. We're bringing you details here on 3FM, on Sunrise, and all the media general platforms. As a call 0559-242-717 or 0556-910-154. Welcome to our Community Voices segment. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Brother, how are you?
I'm fine. Are you too?
I'm fine, thank you. Talk to me.
Oh, this is Nokrata, the Kata Free Cash. The idea for my people to contain on one of the Openi, Mijidi say we will be sure most studio now.
Yamiadum, Yina, way.
Official council, Yame and come watching. Micha, a year or a one, two Ashama and a Marty to pray. The bill will be in a make come on Mr. Brown and I'm a channel to Misham. Opening, you better Excellency John Damani Mahama Asi. I want to be a and in a mammo papa. Nemo opening Ghana for yes, we a day, ya family, dear Ben, yeah. I got poor abiding. I'm a Ghana for you, like you know, atoying. And opening for the time. If you want to, NPP be so. Oil refinery, engineer and Juma. And now we know say oil refinery after a year Juma. Every day, 21,000 barrels. And the Yitimini, I will make me say. I need another poor, I'm a year petrol, want some, the fool, I want some, as you have performed. The Afghanistan Ghana for years, you been here about that year. You been here, Simma, you say, you may be a poor man, I am successful, Ghana, you know, you're what I
Medase, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Annan.
Yes, sir. How are you, please?
But I'm from Pekasa Primary Aristocrat, but I'm going to Castle Barrier.
Bottom retail.
Around the Mamma now, I'm some conscience, Chairman, procedure, MC, on a witness on Banin, Nimco Gold Board at the Accra Mayor. I can offer lawyers in Iron and Company, Messasu Chief Wanano. I think that these people, they paid this guy from the Daily Telegraph. Don't show sorry and fan for air can offer the our mission for the president. Into now Ghana government, then it can offer. And the lawyers look at and the air can offer outside. And the time my eyes for Quachi, when can offer no, and Pachano Yarana. Anana them were Mayo Kenny corner, one another. We are Kushisa, no, the Muya than a way in a kind of attire, in a kind of writers, in a kind of writer them. In Asono, and look up back Queen. Into your mayor said the fight against corruption now, the Biayakano. Are we saying, say, MP people, even looking at their mindset, a Japan, someone, worker, mean that these people are not ready to even let kind of writer come because to account to a on my Ghana. And now you are trying every hard to push kind on the government. They go board in the way until they have to wait. We and the same people are also defending corruption. So how can we fight corruption by what? Isolating him on the yard of everyone.
Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
To God be the glory. I want to ask a question. Who at all is Kenufuyata? Who is that guy?
Kenufuyata is Ghana's former finance minister.
Who? Is he Kwame Nkrumah? Is he Mobutu Sese Seko? Is he Mandela? Who is Kenufuyata? Why are we making this whole thing like Kenufuyata is some God, some angel somewhere? What is wrong with this? You know, I always tell my friends that we are the cause of our own problems. And so the black man will start thinking right. All this nonsense will stop. Because it is so clear and, you don't need any rocket science to know that this guy has caused so much problem for this country. You are doing this where you are advised to stop it. Don't do it. He said, no, you do it. We saw funds coming in, and then from nowhere, it just evaporated into the thin air. You were sick at the point. They asked you, please step down. Your brother or your cousin said no. A motion sensor was issued against you. You were protected and defended, and, everything that had to be done for you was done for you just because of Uriata. Today, come and account for your stewardship. Question marks are being put at certain places. Just come and explain those things. you say you are sick. Now, ice or cold or hot has apprehended you, and then you find people who have gone to school and studied law. I mean, people we all thought were intelligent, now defending the rods. I mean, why? Why? When Mahama went into position, did he run away? Did he go to exile? At 240, where was he? All the past NDC, MPs and ministers, did any of them go anywhere? Why are we doing? You see, look, I'm not saying that Ufrata is guilty, but what you are doing, you are sending a bad signal to everybody. And you know what you have done. So you're running away.
Thank you.
Oh, God.
Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Crosby.
Yes, sir. How are you?
No, but it's my friend who lost his thoughts around.
Sixtus will join us shortly.
Thank you. Anyway, let me say good morning to His Excellency for the human job doing for Mother Ghana, the Vice, and also Chief of Staff as well. Also to Chairman Jasper of Tema West, greetings to him. DB Moro of Akutia, Nana, I'm Mr. Witness Mesogana, and my great Chairman as well. Follow Gunuru, Tana Washimo. You see, my brother, for me, I don't know as what knowledge that some of our people acquire in school. Has it helped the nation at all? You know why I'm asking such questions? I'm asking such questions because I heard what Dr. Dunfer saying that the mama was in a hurry to let the dollar depreciate. And I asked myself why. No wonder GTEC is going after some of them that are holding what? These titles, professorship and the PhD. If I may ask, are you not happy that what? Now city is strong. Now the dollar is every time nowhere to be found. Are you not happy?
Everybody is happy about that. They want it, but they want
so
it
why
to
do you
reflect
think
in their
a whole
pockets.
PhD holder or a professor of doctor will even come with such a comment? Is he not happy? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Is it because what? The NDC in power is making sure that the economy will stand for each and everyone to benefit? Why are we doing this to ourselves? You see, and also, let me tell a Japan Mercy, and the rest of the MPP micro minority, we are pleading with them. The promise John Mama gave to Ghanaians wasn't a year promise. It was a term of office. Is that not it? So if 1 year is been able to check all these offices, why are they telling us that what John Mama he hasn't fulfilled it? It was a 4 year mandate to Ghanaians gave it to. And
you.
just 1 year, we've been able to see that what he has performed. And
Thank
for
you.
me, I'm giving 95%.
Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my bro.
Yes, sir. How are you? Your name and where you're calling from?
Pacho, your friend me bright, me casa free abuso kai. Me dawasi any kunya udiama me na no pe esanya kupon bambo any me shira de ma. Na menchia honorable Alaji ya Okondo, charge of operation, any honorable Peter T and honorable Madi Jibri. Onim ayami wanwa bebre say MPP for cow by economy na me dream wa me ntiase. Excellency John Dramani Mahama promise Ghana for nyama bebre. Cover levy me pacho Excellency John Dramani Mahama on yi free. Yi levy Excellency John Dramani Mahama on yi free. We see a tax MPP for Edibegu Ghana for so ever tema port. Excellency John Dramani Mahama yi sa me money in Afro. And now me no ka say yes see no anya hondi pa e bi kra ensida a dollar yi aba from. And so me nuanu ma ye wa abuso kan ya omoto spare parts e wa abuso kan. Empese ombeti spare parts so e dey ama drivers for any customers e ba abuso kan e beto ade. Me bi say omo say abuso kan ye MPP for strong enti na omo hye da pese omo go aba n'anim ase a omo pese omo betiti niama so e dey ama customers na because me tia say oba abuso kan a engines a 1 year ye ton no ene omo sa to engines no mo filter engine a 1 year na ye ton 22,000 no ene omo dey cost 38,000 e ye dey enti na sisi a omo cost etu omo niama mu e wa abuso kan enti e be sire omo nja de omo ye wa abuso kan na wo hwe onabo sami jemfi MPP for nya se bia nka mfa mo nka mfa no e na omu tu futuro kwa egu Ghana for na mo ye den kora na boy no o ye juma e wo good boy no e dia boy man no ama man na konkan.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my good brother.
Yes, sir.
This is Mr. Lincoln. How are you doing, bro?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Lincoln?
I'm doing well. In regards to all your workers and media general.
Right.
And to Kenaboa, the boss of NIMOX, Water Guard, the IGP, some of the rivers are coming to normalcy. River Pra is coming back to its cleanliness. And that is what we are all expecting. They should continue their arrest. Let me salute the IGP for numerous or series of arrests they've done over the weekends during the Xmas period and continue to do so. There are young guys who don't want to work and involve themselves in these criminal activities. They should continue to arrest them. And let me also encourage Honorable Felicina Koyo and Seth Banini, the MC for Kaswa, for the good job they are doing. They should team up to develop the constituencies. And Honorable Felix Akwete Oakley, MP for Botiano English Amafro, for the good job they are doing. All the MCEs and DCEs across the country needs to team up with the MPs to develop this country for us. Lastly, goes to President John Dramani Mahama for having the courage to clear the debts, the energy debt that Akufo-Addo has accumulated. Is being paid, and we know that light is going to stand on, is going to serve the good people of this country. God bless Media General.
Thank you. Hello, good morning. We've lost our caller. Okay. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Boss, how are you? Your name and where you're calling from?
Please, I'm doing good.
Good to know. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
I'm Frank Naro, Mayo.
Frank, I'm listening to you.
Yo, opening. I don't fight here. Marisa Kwenya Banya Islamentia, Mr. Brown, Forest Commission, CEO, Mechiada Papa Namentia Chamaju, Ashama Communication Officer, Anna Domain, some to Papa says, Toto Davis in Salim Kudin Master, Upia, Chovia, opening. Yes, sir, Omampani Mahama, Nadauruma. So far, so good. Do the Bayan or the A, and then, and near Mapia for Abafom, opening. Benama, I am a NDC, and a John Mahama, and a Manuka say, what you 1 gallon, 1 liter, about 10 cedi, and that's what the Bovia at the Emboya could do 23 cities, so every time. All the Emboyama 1 liter could do 23 cities, and Naya Mahama, I'm an about 10 cities, yeah, and a mano, and net dollar about between 10 cities, 11 cities. Yes, I get the forum. SHPS. Money, I'm a from Binia. I get the forum. A bit of my family. I come as one kind of forum. Omunya politics no more yellow. No more to see my soul. Because any of my boy, who comes what kind of money, who even talk out when Yama, almost so. Because someone or I don't want to catch $1 and an equipment about Bia and behind your Mujer and a mad dollar. Of course, money I'm up for also. And the dollar that 23, about 18, about 10, 11, almost in your man. For a moment, anyway, joke, you know, when almost as a density, and so now move 5 kilos, every 55. Then I go find about me at 2.2, 1.8, and then 7, we look at say, if you 1.2, about 79 Ghana, almost in your Masliana, or Mampani Papa.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
This is iCloud, calling from Zino Katamanso.
I'm listening to you, iCloud.
I hope you are doing well this morning.
I'm fine, thank you.
Where is my boss? Mr. Hughes.
Mr. Hughes is enjoying a few days off on leave, so he'll be back.
It's too long.
He'll come. He wants you people to miss him more. He'll come soon.
Oh, it's too long. And I don't pay my main Fakunya in Franchia, Punkatamaso MC. Oyobia or Bono Homodin pa your friend Honorable Tiki or Bono Homodin. na yɛn nso yɛbɛ support na ama na yɛ adwuma no na memfa nkyia ɔman panyin ɛne na panyinfoɔ ɔde ɔmo bu ɔman sɛnea ehia sɛnea ɛsrɛ wɔn sɛ nyame ma ɔmo kwantenten ahoɔden a ɔmo de bɛbu ɔman na emu bi ɔbɛdwen adwenbɔne de afɔ ɔmo so bi ɛnna ne nkɔ ɔmo ankasa ɔmo so because bible no kyerɛ sɛ de tu amena no ɔno ankasa bɛtɔ n'amena mu menua sɛ wokae sɛ ankɔmo tɔntɔ anka past government anka ɔtɔntɔ 22 million dollars ɛnso ɛnnɛ aban yi ba akonnwa yi so yi ndi memfa sɛ 1 year tɔ ate ne ka ɛka na ankɔmo tɔntɔ no ɔmo ate ama bi aboro so koraa na tɔ ɛnyɛ adwuma o nso ɛnɛ tɔ asate ɛyɛ adwuma employ nkurɔfoɔ ma ɔmo yɛ adwuma wei ne ɛfrɛ ne sɛ amammuo papa no wahu na sɛ woyɛ ɔpanyin na sɛ ɔwɔ ɔman mu na sɛ ɔman no agyapadeɛ no wodeɛ ne sɛ woba ɔman no mu na wobɛtontɔn a na woyɛ ɔmanbɔfoɔ yɛhwɛ Ken Oforiatta ɛmna na ɔte akonnwa yi so sɛ MPfoɔ kaa sɛ ɔmmɔ no ho mmɔden nti ɔmfi akonnwa no so nso na anadɔ kaa sɛ daabi ɔnkɔgye IMF sika no mfa mmra ɔgye ba ɔno ankasa nhwɛ so ɔtena so na ɔyale ne ho mfa no yɛnya nim sɛ ne ho mfa no papa yi sɛ still ɔbɛtena akonnwa yi so ayɛ adwuma na ɔngye Ghana sika na wɔyɛ adwuma awie ne ɛsɛ bra bɛbu akonta nso a no adwane akɔtena obi maa nso woyɛ ade pa a adɛn nti na womɛbu akonta no ma yɛnhu baabi a ɔwɔ biaa ɔmbra medeɛ da bia meka sɛ ɔmbra ɔne deɛ ɔse ɔmpɛ sɛ yɛde hankɔfo bɛto ne nsa da ɔmbra ɔbaa yɛn grassroot no NDC grassroot yɛkɔ akɔfa brass band kɛseɛ paa ɛde akɔhyia no airport ne abɔ no oziana ne yɛde ntoma ne yɛ ntaade asɛ fam ama no yɛwia yɛde no bɛkɔ fie ne akɔ fufutɔ de ama no ne wadi aka ho yɛyɛ ne nana.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Opezi.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Pacho, you're from the Great Alliance, Katafri Domiko coverage.
Pacho, meet you.
Medasi, Yamema, Medasi, Ajmapa, Ajmati, Amuna, Moyapa, Kana. Manya what you did, Mamunchia, the Incarnon Chama, and what am I was. Jasper, JM, Tama West, Matinkwa, Manya Nipa, or Witma Abwam. No, ya Domiko constituency, ya Madam, Honorable Madam Elflam Afrogo, no, ya hard-working MC, IFNO, Mr. Abu, the chairman, share, in telephone, sir, in telephone, says, Sibi, would you be Nigeria? No, one of the babies do a conta. Who can afford it? The boo akonta maya uye former finance minister unu kuteniska unu control ye economy ne amasisia ya a test dry ye bre na sesia abedu se bebu akonta amaya na motima na se aye baako atima di into akire Ghana forces seven prince se onyare meanwhile se onyare ye o ice for coaching Omu coaching or hospital.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Unfortunately, Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Please, I am not from New. I'm calling from New Achimota.
Okay, I'm listening to you.
I just want to ask the NPP supporters, when are they going to demonstrate for the arrest of them?
When they are going to demonstrate
I am very sure that they will demonstrate. Come again?
When they are going to demonstrate for the arrest of Ken?
Yes, please. When? Because, see, Ghana is a country of law, of rule of law. If you offend, they will come for you. But anytime any one of their members is arrested, then they will bury themselves. and they'll go and demonstrate. Why have you arrested this person? When are they going to demonstrate for the arrest of Ken in USC? I'm just hoping that they will bring him back home. But before I leave, please, let me ask you, if you want the economy of this government to reflect in your pocket, how do you want to see it? Please, I want to ask you this question.
They want prices of goods and services to come down so that the money you have in your pocket can get you a lot of goods and services. That's the basic understanding of reflection in your pocket.
Thank you very much. But if I used to pick up from where I am to La Paz, I was paying 4 cedis. As I'm talking to you now, I am paying 3 cedis the first way. Is it the same reflection?
Maybe
I take a car from La Paz to Spintex. I used to pay 12 cedis. As I'm talking to you now, I am paying 10 cedis. You know the same reflection?
Maybe it is not enough.
Anytime I pick my phone, I pay my DSTV bill. I save 50% depending on the package I am paying for. Is not the same reflection? So I think that we should extract a little patience. And some of the things that we want us to see, we want Ghanaians to see in our government, it depends some of these traders.
Okay.
Some of the big things, it depends on the traders. Because again, since we don't have a price control, the government cannot come and force them to come and reduce the thing.
Right.
So if our market women and our business women, they should also look into the face of God and say, indeed, enough is enough. And then they have to set a class. Now at least, and refer to a class. The last time I went to buy a rice there, I bought it around 85. I went to buy this time. It is around 76. So I am saving 9 cedis. That's right, I bought. I have saved 9 cedis on it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And that'll be it for our Community Voices segment here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Thank all of you who were able to call. Those of you who could not reach us, thank you so much for trying as well. We're grateful. We'll speak with you again tomorrow on Community Voices. Sunrise continues with sports with Akosia Ejay. Akosia, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Happy New Year.
Many happy returns.
Are you a Chelsea fan or a United fan?
See, for a very long time, I thought I wanted to be a Chelsea fan.
Oh, you
Then it got to a point I'm like, listen, I don't have the heart to support clubs and then your team will lose. Nah, I don't have that time. So now I support managers.
I thought you were about to say I support Manchester United.
Manchester what?
Like we'll sack you from the studio. What do you have for us this morning?
There's a lot we'll be hearing from Andre Ayew because he just signed a new deal with NAG Brother. He played his first game with them. He's hoping to help the team battle against relegation. And maybe his good luck charm is already working because when he played, they didn't win, but they drew.
They didn't
lose, so they are building up points at least.
He's hoping to go to the World Cup.
I mean, hopefully that's the big dream.
How old is he again?
Let's me make I do my thing. You are not my mate. MC at the craze. I can't complain.
Good morning and welcome to the Sunrise Sports with me, Akusia AJ. We start off from the Ghana Premier League, where Mediama SC strengthened their push for the Ghana Premier League crown after cruising to a convincing 3-0 win over Young Apostles at the TNA Stadium on Sunday. The victory further widened their advantage at the top of the standings. Elsewhere, Asante Kotoko's inconsistent form continued as they were forced to settle for a home draw against Brecum Chelsea, extending their run without a win to 2 matches. Here is a roundup of all the weekend's GPL action brought together by my colleague Mutala Yakubu.
And excitement continues in the Ghana Premier League, and match day 18 has come to a closure here at the Baba Sports Stadium. Asante Kotoko were coming into a game against Brecum Chelsea on the back of a defeat in match day 17 against Swedru All Blacks, and the hopes were high that Kotoko would win. For Brecum Chelsea, they were in the relegation zone and were hoping to get out themselves, but things turned out ugly for Asante Kotoko. In the first half, it was Brecum Chelsea that created the better of chances, but goalkeeper Kamara came to the rescue of Asante Kotoko as the game stayed goalless. But after the recess, Kotoko upped the tempo and there were a lot of urgency in their game. Coach Karim Zito introduced the likes of Kwame Poku into the game, and they created some decent half chances, but they could not put that at the back of the net, and the game eventually ended goalless here. The fans are agitated. They are not happy with the performance of Asante Kotoko and they expected to win. And Coach Karim Zito also says that if you want to win the title, teams like Brecum Chelsea are the teams that you should be able to defeat, especially when you are playing home. For Samuel Boadu and Brecum Chelsea, joy, because they've earned a point against one of the best clubs in the Ghana Premier League. In other results, we also saw the likes of Adriana winning by 2-1 in their game against Karela United, and that was a big win for Adriana. Bechem United also, surprisingly, they beat BBN Gold Stars by 1-0 at the Nana Fosuji Abopa. Dreams FC, everyone is asking what is happening to Heart of Lions. They've tasted 6 defeats in the Ghana Premier League. This time, they lost a 3-0 to Dreams FC. Not a good one for Bashir Hayford. Also, Mediama, who are on top of the Ghana Premier League table, sent a statement out as they beat Young Apostles by 3-0. Vision, after that impressive win against Adriana, followed up with a draw against Samatex away from home. So Nana Kwekwajaman is clearly doing something positive. Swedru All Blacks also drew 1-1 with Nations FC, and things are not looking good for the likes of Heart of Lions. It's a worry. So this is how the league standing is. Mediama have taken top seed. They have 37 points. BBN Gold Stars are second with 32. Adriana are third, and Asante Kotoko with the point gain are now for same point as Heart of Oak, who are fifth with 31 points. So for Brecum Chelsea, they are still in the league. This time they are 16th with 19 points, but they will be happy with the points gain here against Asante Kotoko. Mutala Yakubu for 3 Sports at the Baba Sports Stadium.
Well, we still stay with the Ghana Premier League, as after Kotoko dropped points at home, head coach Karim Zito has admitted his team are finding it difficult to convert their opportunities, stressing the need for improvement, particularly at home, if they hope to challenge for the trophies this season.
We were holding the ball all right, but progressing to finish at goal was our problem. And we were also attacking on the wing. You understand me? But still, the pull-out wasn't targeted. Well, because we needed a goal. We don't need a draw here. Seriously. If we want to win the league, we shouldn't be playing draw at home. It's a fact. So definitely I have to change so that I get to this thing.
We still stay with Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Brecum Chelsea's goalless draw, but now we take the thoughts of Brecum Chelsea assistant coach Emmanuel Nkrumah, who remains confident about his team's survival in the Premier League, insisting they have learned valuable lessons from the first half of the campaign.
My team did well tactically. Yes, this is what we told them to do. We came here to win, but we have gotten the draw. Yeah, that's good for us. Yes, when we were about to start our second round, we said we mess up in the first round. So this second round, we said, no, we are not going to mess up. We are going to do all things right to gain points, so that, because it's points building game. So we have to build more points so that we can come to the top.
Meanwhile, for Accra Hearts of Oak, they had a good win 1-0 against Hohoe United. And for the fans of Benjamin Asari, he was actually imposed and was able to get a clean sheet in that game. But according to Coach Didi Dramani, he's expressed his delight after his side's win, although he admitted its players should have been more ruthless in front of goal.
I think that I'm more disappointed in terms of our wastefulness. I think that the scoreline would have been maybe 4-2 or 5-2 or so. The scoreline should have been more than just one. But I think that at the end of the day, I still saw that my players still fought very well. It was a very hard-fought win. We were still playing to win. You know, we don't go to play just to play. We were playing to win, and so our attitude and desire to win paid off.
Let's now turn our attention now to the continental showpiece that's currently ongoing in Morocco. That's the 2025 African Cup of Nations, which has reached its decisive stage with a semi-final scheduled for Wednesday. Egypt will face Senegal while tournament host Morocco take on Nigeria. My colleague Billy Shen, reporting from Morocco, reviews the quarter-final drama and previews the upcoming last four clashes.
I think the AFCON quarterfinals delivered just as expected. Little surprises coming in there. But maybe the biggest surprise among the littlest of surprises will be Egypt managing to defeat Ivory Coast by 3-2. Mohamed Salah is having a fantastic tournament so far. Of course, it's his legacy tournament, basically, because he's never won an AFCON with Egypt, despite the country winning the most AFCONs in history. And so him coming to the fore and becoming the key man was really refreshing to see. Also, seeing the dominance that Nigeria showed against Algeria was really nice to see. You can see that the frontmen, Ademola Lookman and Victor Osimhen, are very, very important to their hopes of winning the AFCON after losing in the 2023 edition. Morocco also managing to get past Cameroon. Not much surprises there. The host countries and from what was seen in the stadium, the way the stadium was packed, the way the fans were cheering on the top of their voices, the way they whistled Cameroon every time they had the ball, it was going to be difficult to get past that. And for Morocco, having the likes of Brahim Diaz, who has scored the most goals in the tournament so far, has been in fine form, has been basically a very important part of their setup. I remember asking the head coach about Brahim Diaz and his importance. He did state that, apart from scoring the goals, he does a lot of the off-ball work as well, and that pleases him. But did note that he's not the only X factor that they have. Of course, there's Ashraf Hakimi in there as well. And also, Senegal managing to get past Mali is not much of a surprise. Senegal had the stronger team, and so Iliman Ndiaye scoring in the first half to help them is not much of a surprise. But the semi-finals will be very, very tough with Morocco hosting Nigeria in Rabat, very big stadium. The fans will definitely fill that stadium. It will be Nigeria's biggest test. It would also be Morocco's biggest test. There's something we want to see. Senegal versus Egypt, also a very, very big test for Mohamed Salah, who once again be facing Sadio Mane. We saw that happen in the AFCON final back in 2021. It's like a repeat. Maybe this could be Salah's turn to win after Mane won the AFCON that last time. But we'll see what happens in there as well.
My colleague Bill Eshen, who is in Morocco covering the ongoing African Cup of Nations for Media General. Remember, his trip was powered by Adanse Travels. Meanwhile, Nigeria head coach Eric Shiel has urged his players to stay focused and avoid complacency as the competition moves into its most critical phase.
It was a great game. We played well during this game, and I'm so proud of them. We work a lot since I took this job, so they deserve this victory. but this is only one game, so if we want to stay ambitious, we have to work again, because we have a big game in a few days. So we continue to work.
Meanwhile, Super Eagles star Victor Osimhen also praised the Nigerian supporters, promising that the team will give everything to secure the trophy.
Hello to the Super Eagles fans. Thank you so much for your support worldwide. This victory was not easy, and I'm happy that the team got the win against Algeria. Thank you for your support, and we continue to build on this momentum, and hopefully we get to the final and win it.
Away from Morocco, we moved to England, where Ghanaian forward Antoine Semenyo enjoyed a dream start to life at Manchester City, scoring and providing an assist in the FA Cup round of 32 victory over Exeter City. His 64 million transfer from Bournemouth made him the most expensive Ghanaian player in history. Reflecting on Semenyo's impressive debut, Manchester City assistant coach Pep Lijnders was full of praise for the new signing.
Good performances today, a lot of good individual performances. I think when the team plays like that, it becomes easier for the individual, of course, but Antoine is settling well. He's a humble guy. We follow him for a long time, but he brings something to the front line, what we really want and what we need. He can attack quick. He wants to chase. He's a guy who doesn't stop, and I think you see today that he can adapt quite quick as well to our style. It's nice to have him with us, yeah.
Arsenal, on the other hand, were in sparkling form as Gabriel Martinelli netted a hat-trick in a 4-1 comeback victory over Portsmouth to book their place in the next round. Ghana's boss Mikel Arteta credited the Basics for their strong performance.
Disappointed because we're at the FA Cup. I think the players see the reaction at the end, and deservedly so. So we're disappointed with the result, and probably disappointed with some moments in the game, especially responding to Brighton's first goal. I think we took too long to respond from that, so the players are down, disappointed, hurt, but they're going to have to pick themselves up and recover because we've got a big game next week.
Moving to Spain now, where Barcelona lifted the Spanish Super Cup after edging rivals Real Madrid 3-2 in a thrilling final at the King Abdullah Sports Stadium in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The victory made Barca the first club to win the trophy back-to-back seasons and to beat Madrid in 3 consecutive finals. Head coach Hansi Flick described the triumph as a major boost for the rest of the campaign.
Disappointed because we're at the FA Cup. I think the players.
It's not easy. It's not easy because I think we have in January we have every 3-4 days we have huge games in Champions League, in La Liga, but also in the Copa. It's not easy for the players, for us, but at the end, I think also it could give us a lot of confidence. But we also showed again how good we are, and we scored the goals, and this is amazing.
Finally, Andre Ayew made his return to competitive football after featuring for NAC Breda in a goalless draw away to FC Groningen in the Dutch Eredivisie. The former Black Stars captain came on in the 57th minute as NAC searched for a late winner. Marking his first official appearance since May 2025, Ayew has explained the reasons behind choosing the Dutch side as a next step in his career.
Just the discussions with the team, with the coach, number one, the scouts, CEO, director, everyone. I could see the desire, the willingness for me to join. Yes, I was speaking with different clubs around the world, but there was something that I felt here with a big fan base also. With this club who has a big name, we have players like Mathieu Amoa, others who have made their name here.
Well, that's it for the Sport on Sunrise. My name is Akusia AJ. There's more sport on all of our social media handles at 3SportsGH. Thanks for listening.
tunes in sync with a soothing voice. 3 Lounge with AJ.
Are you tired of the same old routine? Need a break from the stress and chaos of everyday life? Well, step into the 3 Lounge, your world of absolute relaxation and great music with yours truly, AJ Akwako Sapon. Welcome to the best mid-morning show in the capital and beyond. This is 3 Lounge with yours truly, your radio princess, AJ Akwako Sapon.
Love it. I love it. It's great.
Kickstart your week with Monday motivation. Shake off the Tuesday blues and get ready for midweek mania. Take a trip down memory lane on Throwback Thursday and wrap up the week with Funky Friday with myself and Helen Apia Ampufo. Plus, enjoy exciting celebrity interviews, insightful conversation, engaging discussions on topics that matter, and there's a boatload of fun and easy activations that reward and appreciate you, our loyal listener.
If you are listening, we're manifesting money into your pocket this morning.
Don't miss out on the excitement. Tune in to 3 Lounge every weekday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. with AJ Akwako Sapon only on 3FM 92.7.
It's my number one.
92.7 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio.
It has always been a journey of Pan-Africanism and consciousness. It is your regular taxi driver with the urban blend and 3FM 92.7 in living stereo every day, Monday to Friday, from 12:30 p.m. till 3 p.m. This is the show everybody listens to, so your business will certainly do well here. My name, Black Rasta. I am the rootical, hairtical, Don Gargan, Mua Fire, Rhythm, come forward. Atinga ya chika fankare, Azure ya chika fankare, Abama ta chika fankare.
3FM, your urban lifestyle radio.
Sunrise on 3FM. Sunrise on 3FM. The best in the morning. Sunrise on 3FM. The best in the morning.
The best in the morning is on 92.7. Sunrise on 3FM.
The best in the morning is on 92.7. Sunrise on 3FM.
The best in the morning is on 92.7. Sunrise on 3FM. The best in the morning is on 92.7. Sunrise on 3FM.
3FM Sunrise.
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December.
How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure.
Rastafari! The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December.
How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure.
Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Oh, turn it up!
Come into the mountains, sight and I grandfather.
It's time to drive you home in style with great music, the 411 and all your favorite songs, what's happening around town, and so much more.
And in the headlines today, the two leading political parties have been addressing the public on allegations of corruption. The Black Stars coach has unveiled his squad for the upcoming games, and there are some interesting names. Pull up! The weekend is here and it's time to turn up. Get your dancing shoes on, Lego. We really do have it all. It's a premium mix of information and entertainment every single day on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio.
In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio.
FM 92.7, and welcome to our big conversation segment on the show. this conversation properly. We're talking about the provision of consular services and how important was it that the Ghanaian embassy in the United States had to intervene in this. Is the Ghanaian embassy in the United States only intervening because Kenny Furiata, if you like, is a big person? Or the Ghanaian embassy in the United States is doing this because that is what is expected of them? And do they do this for every other Ghanaian who is in the United States and who falls foul of the law, like the case of Kenny Furiata has been right now? So that's the foundation we want to lay right now before we get into the hardcore conversations, before we speak to the lawyers and some other experts in the conversation. But first is Professor Mauko Yevuga. Prof, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Let's start the conversation from here. Kenneth Furiata was detained by ICE in Virginia. Then the Ghanaian embassy in the United States, they say that they went through due process by speaking with the appropriate authorities to request access to Kenneth Furiata so that they can provide some services to Ken Furiata. Tell us, in the arena of international relations, how common is this practice for an embassy to intervene in similar situations?
Thank you very much. I think it's a standard practice in terms of diplomatic relations. Countries establish diplomatic relations with other countries with the aim of promoting their national interest. And the national interest there can be broadly defined to include the interests of your citizens wherever they find themselves. So if something happens to your citizens anywhere in the world, it's an obligation of the diplomatic mission in that country to look out for the citizens' interests, including provision of consular services, which may include, getting a lawyer for the individual if they cannot afford one. So it's a standard procedure. It's a general principle that when citizens in foreign countries get into any form of trouble with the authorities of that state, the diplomatic mission of their country is supposed to intervene on their behalf. So what is happening is nothing special, even though you can look at the specifics, but the general principles are clear that diplomatic missions have responsibility of care for citizens of their countries wherever they find themselves.
I see. So if we're talking about the intervention and the responsibility of care, specifically, what can the consular or the embassy, what do consular services or the embassies, what service can they render to their citizen in a situation like this?
Okay, so first of all, the first thing they have to do is to make sure that citizens' well-being and their rights are protected and safeguarded. So like I mentioned, if a citizen gets into trouble, the first thing is to understand the nature of the trouble, and then you can determine what role the mission or the embassy or the diplomatic mission can play. One of the things they do is to get a lawyer, because if the thing is a legal matter and the individual cannot on his own defend himself and he cannot afford a lawyer of their own, then it is the duty of the mission to arrange for a lawyer for the individual. Sometimes also, if there's an emergency, let's say there's an emergency in the country and we have to evacuate all the citizens, it is the duty of the diplomatic mission to identify all the nationals in the affected area and ensure their safe passage back home. So those are some of the things that they're supposed to do. In this particular case, I think it's about understanding the nature of the trouble that Ken Furiata got into that had to culminate in his detention. Once you understand the issue, then you have to see what assistance you can specifically provide. If it's the issue about getting a lawyer, immigration lawyer, or whatever type of lawyer that he needs, then the mission can work that out with the authorities. I think that is the matter.
What happens if the detainee or if the person in question refuses to engage with the embassy officials?
Well, so let's separate the issues here. Under normal circumstances, every citizen will be happy, and I have to put on record that I commend the Ghanaian mission for at least trying to reach out. because that is the fundamental duty. The embassy, they are paid by our tax money, and they are to cater for our welfare, our well-being as citizens. So for them to reach out is a major thing, and I commend them for that. Now, having said that, I think under normal circumstances, this should have been a routine practice. A citizen will be very happy that their embassy is reaching out at time of need like this. So that shouldn't have been an issue. But we all know that this is not an ordinary issue. There are complications because Ken Ofori-Atta is under investigation. And because it's under investigation, he's being careful that he doesn't implicate himself any way, shape, or form, which is within his right. So for me, I don't see anything fundamentally wrong if he says, and the condition, let's talk about the condition. He says he can only meet the Ghanaian embassy officials in the company of his lawyers, which means that he's not totally rejecting, but he's being very cautious, and which is every human being should do that, because because of if there were no issues, if it's just an ordinary issue about, you get into trouble with the authorities in America and the consular service, your mission tries to reach out and provide consular service, that will not be any issue. But because of the underlying issues about his indictment or his legal issues back home in Ghana, he wants to be very careful. And so he wants his lawyer to be present. So I think that's where I'm coming from, that it's within his right to accept them that he needs his lawyer present before he can give the Ghanaian officials. Because remember, Ghanaian officials also represent the state of Ghana. The embassy in Ghana works for the Ghanaian government. So therefore that he doesn't implicate himself by talking to them and his lawyers not being present, that can cause him more legal problems eventually.
Prof, allow me to take us a few steps back. So for those who think that there is the call for special treatment, or the embassy is doing this because it is Ken Ofori-Atta, there is no legal basis or proper argument on the claims that they are doing this because he's a former finance minister and that they are treating him specially. This does not exist at all, because this is, like you said, responsibility of the embassy there.
Yes.
Great.
Yes. I think, having said that, every citizen demands or deserves equal treatment under the law, including the state agencies attending to citizens when they're in trouble. But let's also not gloss over the fact that, look, Ken Ofori-Atta was immediate past finance minister, not immediate like the second immediate past. He has been a finance minister for almost 8 years for our country. So this is not just any ordinary person. So in as much as the law is to be applied equally to every citizen, we must all also acknowledge the fact that our citizens, because of the positions they've occupied or they currently occupy, will be given certain courtesies. It would have been a bit odd and a bit embarrassing, I would say, that this issue will come up involving the Ghanaian former finance minister, and the Ghanaian authorities would say they will not do anything. Because whether we like it or not, because of the high position he had previously occupied, he might even be privy to a lot of national secrets or information as a finance minister. And so it is in our own interest as a country to also protect our national secrets and interests because of the individual involved.
Right.
So for me, that is the other dimension, that's the other layer. Because of his position as a former finance minister, that's a very important position. He has represented Ghana abroad with other countries, and there's so much information at his disposal, and we have to do to protect those information as well.
Prof, so let's understand this. Ken Ofori-Atta has made, and his lawyers, they've made very sound and very proper demand that if you want to speak with us, we want it to be done when our lawyers are present. My question then would be that if consular access is delayed in this case, or withdrawn or denied, what remedies, if any, exist under international law? And could there be any consequence on the ongoing proceedings?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so in the sense that, see, if, let's say, Ken Ofori-Atta is just an ordinary citizen, he doesn't have the means to afford a lawyer, and the consular services are not available to him, then that would affect his ability to make his case properly with the U.S. authorities. But thank God he has got his own lawyers we will not even be having this discussion if he's not able to afford a lawyer and he has to depend on consular service for that. But in this case, he's got lawyers, so I don't think. You see, ordinarily, this issue shouldn't even have come to the public domain because there are many occasions where citizens would run into trouble and the state will put it at their disposal, such services. But because of the peculiarities of this particular issue and the individual involved, that is why we are even having this discussion. So if it turns out that he doesn't need consular services after all, because he has the capacity to handle that, there's no issue. I mean, life will just go on as usual.
I see. Prof, I'd like to thank you. I'd like to thank you so much for your time, sir.
No problem. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much. Professor Lord Mauko is an international relations expert speaking with us there. Was revoked, if you like, making his stay unlawful, and that is what triggered the action by ICE. His legal team filed a petition for adjustment of status in the U.S., and that petition is still pending at the time of his arrest. As we speak, Kenneth Furata is facing 78 counts of alleged corruption and corruption-related offenses, linked mainly to the Strategic Mobilization Limited scandal. And Ghana has formally requested his extradition from the U.S., and authorities are coordinating on that front alongside immigration proceedings. And of course, like you already know, some political commentators have criticized Kenneth Furata for avoiding to return to Ghana amid the accountability process. Some are questioning why he's doing this to himself, because his home is here. And he can choose just to be home and he will be fine. He does not have to go through all that he's going through right now. Government officials also stress active engagement with U.S. authorities and the possibility of his return to Ghana sooner than expected, depending on the legal outcomes. In fact, for Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Remsai, Kenneth Furata can return to Ghana sooner than we expect him to be. So this is what is next. Kenneth Furata, January 20, 2026, Immigration Court hearing. It's a key date, and it may determine his status and potential deportation or continued detention. I'm saying that January 20th this year is a big date for Kenneth Furata, as his U.S. Immigration Court hearing will happen on that day, January 20, 2026. That date may determine his status and potential deportation or continued detention. And 20th January, if you don't know, is not very far. It is just next week, Tuesday. Next week, Tuesday. But you should also know that all that is happening concerning Kenneth Furata is completely different from the extradition processes Ghana has started. DJ Abiam is playing breath here for us. So concurrently, Ghana's extradition request will remain part of the diplomatic legal decisions. This morning, one of the papers this morning is reporting that Justice Remsai says Ken Ofori-Atta will return to Ghana, may return to Ghana sooner than we expect. I'll grab that paper and I'll read to you exactly what Justice Remsai is saying. About is the Daily Post newspaper, and it says that the legal walls appear to be closing on former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta as the government signals that his repatriation from the United States may be imminent. The Deputy Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dr. Justice Remsai, provided a significant update on the detention of the former key minister of the Eswell Akufo-Addo government, suggesting that the administrative machinery for his return to the jurisdiction is moving up. Saying that Ofori-Atta could be back in Ghana sooner than expected. Dr. Remsai declared on TV3 on Saturday, January 10, emphasizing that the Ministry of Justice and the Attorney General's Department are not merely spectators, but active participants in the unfolding case. Now, one of the key details shared by the Deputy AG was the clarification regarding Mr. Ofori-Atta's immigration status. And while early reports suggested that the former minister's visa had expired, Dr. Remsai revealed that the U.S. government had taken proactive steps of revoking his visa far back as June 2025. If that video of Justice Remsai is ready, that's what I'm asking for. If that video is ready, let's take a listen to Dr. Justice Remsai. He's the Deputy Attorney General.
Assad 2025, that's last year. His visa got revoked. I know I have seen statements from people who said the visa expired. The information we have from authentic sources is that his visa was revoked in 2025. June 2025. So he's been living in America without a visa, let me put it that way. We will use every possible legal means to bring anyone who is running away from justice in this country.
Including Ken Ofori-Atta?
Yes. Look, the people of this country have elected President John Mahama to put in place mechanism for bringing people to account. It's a question of accountability. And President Mahama has taken it more seriously than anything he's doing. And we, the persons who have been appointed as ministers to do the work for the president, have no option but to take these things very seriously. And there will not be anything that will leave, any stone that will leave unturned in achieving the goal. And that's what I'm telling you, that if anyone thinks that running away to another country would be a solution to, would be a channel or a path to refuse or to refuse to subject himself to accountability. But not under this government. we are going to do everything within our powers, which the law allows us to do, to bring anybody back to this country.
Always welcome home, welcome home.
County over the weekend on Key Points that was live on TV3 and on 3FM as well. Kwabna Bracco Powers. And like we've laid the foundation for you, Kenneth Foriata and his lawyers, well, Kenneth Foriata said, according to the embassy in the United States, that Kenneth Foriata demanded that his lawyers be present before he could, they could engage with him.
Good morning, Amanda. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Talk to us about. Let's lay some foundation on the legal basis for this and how important it is for lawyers to be present, or legal representatives to be present during such, I don't want to call it interrogation or such communication between suspects or detained suspects and authorities. Lay for us the foundation for this need.
Yes, my brother, let me say good morning to your listeners and those who are watching on the YouTube and any other social media platforms. I think it's basic that it is a constitutional right for anybody to have access to a lawyer. In fact, it is only in the absence of a lawyer that, if a person had asked for the presence of a lawyer and that is not given, the person is not given access to a lawyer, then whatever takes place or whatever will transpire may be quashed by a court of competent jurisdiction on the basis that the person may have been coerced or may have been coerced into revealing certain information. So it is a basic fundamental right of every human being to have access to a legal representation. And in this case, it matters. Because I have said that time and again, if the law enforcement agencies go ahead, even when individuals have asked to be represented or have asked to only speak they've asked to speak only when their lawyers are present, and that is denied them, then it invalidates every discussion or every information that may be coerced out of them. So this is a basic fundamental right that anybody, any Ghanaian, and even the world over globally, it is a recognized fundamental human right of every individual.
So you've spoken about it, but throw more light on what legal risk could arise from speaking freely to consular officials without lawyers present. I mean, these people are consular officials from your own country. You've been detained in another country. You're asking for your lawyers to be present before that conversation can be had. What legal risk could arise from speaking freely to consular officials without lawyers present?
I think we need to understand that our consular officials are only seeking to help Kenneth Foriata.
Mm-hmm.
And that they are not law enforcement agencies, or they are not part of the U.S. ICE. But we must understand the political context. This is an opposition, a key personality in the opposition New Patriotic Party. And we know the noise that has created the investigation into some alleged corrupt practices of Kenneth Foriata. So it will not be a given for an opposition a key figure or key personality in an opposition party to say that I am freely opening up to a government that is against me, and a government that has declared that they needed me in Ghana to try me. So I don't think we should take it as something surprising. It's not surprising. It is expected. Because don't forget that in this whole thing, there will be a political tone, undertone. Ken will need to get his lawyers around to meet with the council officials. And that will be the most appropriate forum. Because the likelihood of the officials over there, because let me tell you, first of all, they are there as Ghanaian representatives. But secondly, they are political appointees. So they are serving dual roles. Whilst they are the face of Ghanaians out there, they are also representing the governing National Democratic Government, the National Democratic Congress, NDC. So it won't be. So Ken will have to tread cautiously so as not to be either taken by surprise or his representation or whatever he says being misconstrued. So I think he's entitled to have a legal representation before even engaging them. And that was the best decision he ever took. Because he should not, because this is a government that is coming after you. And now they are trying to, extend an olive tree to you that in this matter, we want to help you. You don't just, sometimes you don't take favors from, political enemies. Because by doing so, you may be digging your own grave. So you need to tread cautiously. You need to make sure that there are people who will serve as third parties, who will be privy to the conversation, and who will be openly ready to communicate the truth whenever the political tone takes over. So it makes sense. He has taken the right decision, and I think he's not entitled even to go there unless he needs the help of the council officials. I don't think he needs their help. This is more like a political game that they are playing, and I think he has to be careful.
I see. So could statements made to consular officers be used directly or indirectly in legal proceedings away from the political, undertones that could exist?
No, so the thing is that if they are able to get material information relating to even the investigation, mind you, the extended support is to help him navigate, the whole ICE issue, the immigration issue that he is currently facing in the U.S. But there's a possibility that they may be throwing a question or two regarding the matter pending in Ghana, the investigation pieces that have been done about him. And if they're able to extract information relating to the investigation from him without his legal representation and use it in Ghanaian court, his lawyers can raise an objection to that. We could raise an objection to the tendering of such information because he has asked for a representation. And if he's not getting access to that and the information is extracted from him, he could say that he was coerced into giving us that particular information. Such information that are extracted from suspects, so-called suspects, when they are asked for a legal representation which is denied them, such information risks being rejected by the court of competent jurisdiction because it was not freely given. The important thing is that it must be freely given and that information must be relevant. If it's not freely given, then it risks being rejected or not being admitted. So that is one of the things we must look out for.
So the bottom line here is that this is a very good decision that his lawyers have taken. This cannot be interpreted as overlawing.
No. The thing is that I'm saying that this was a political overture extended to him by the government of the day. And I'm saying that the government of the day has declared you a fugitive. And they are coming after you. In fact, they have initiated the extradition processes to extradite you to Ghana. The best thing is that they are just trying to lure you. I see it as an enticement. They are trying to entice him so that they can extract or get him into the country. He must make sure that his lawyers are available. If not, he should get his lawyers to address the immigration issue. He doesn't need the support of Ghana. In fact, how many Ghanaian students, even our own consul officials, how many Ghanaians are they even extended help to? There are so many Ghanaian students who are facing issues with non-payment of fees. They have immigration issues and other things. How many students has that consul office helped? Now you want to help a key opposition figure. I think it doesn't sound well. I think there's more to it than we see it, and I think Ken has read between the lines, and he has seen the signs on the wall, and he has taken the right decision. His decision must be respected. In fact, he's not entitled to seek the support of the Ghanaian officials over there, and he's entitled to even reject the support. But he has decided that he may honor it, but to do so, he may have to be accompanied by a legal representation, which is fair and square. So he's entitled to that. I think he has taken the best decision. This was a political overture, and I think there's more to it. There's more political undertone to it than what Ghanaians have been shown or been told. That this is a Ghanaian official helping a citizen who has fallen far of the law. I don't see it that way. I see it more as a political strategy that is being taken by this government.
Counsel, thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Austin Kwabena Bracco Powers is a private legal practitioner speaking with us there.
3FM Sunrise.
The conversation up nicely, talking about how many Ghanaians may be living in the United States who may be in need of such services that the embassy in the U.S. is extending to Ken Ofori-Atta. Would they have extended same or similar service to whoever is embattled with legal issues there if it were not Ken Ofori-Atta? Mentioned that there are hundreds of Ghanaians in the U.S., hundreds of students in the U.S. who need, some forms of consular representation, consular assistance, embassy assistance. Do they get it as easily as Ken Ofori-Atta is getting? Abiam has an agenda this morning. Abiam, what's the name of this song again?
The man is doing his job. He say he has an agenda. He shouldn't do his job again.
The man has an agenda. Do you get
For the record, Abiam has no agenda.
Do you get the lyrics of the song?
He's a DJ on the morning show.
Yeah, we get that. But do you know the lyrics of the song?
No, he's not. He's the DJ.
What's the day? Or the boyengi. Ogwan Abra. Obiaranta no do. You understand?
That's a song fit for the discussion.
It's like running away, nobody down.
It's a song fit for the discussion.
It is. I mean, it's a nice one. But Sixtus, there's the broader conversation that Ghanaians are living in the United States who may be in need of such services that the embassy has extended to Ken Ofori-Atta but are not getting it. Is it because it is Ken Ofori-Atta? Is it because it is political? Is it because he's a big man? That is why
Is he not a VIP?
He is.
When he was in government, where they're not sidestepping the very people you are talking about to give him services. Was it not happening? What has changed? Is it not the same circumstances? There's nothing wrong with the mission in the U.S. extending consular services to one of its citizens, more so a high-profile citizen who has been caught up in such a confusion. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
No, that way
again. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Ken Ofori-Atta saying that I appreciate your gesture, but I would love to have this sit down with you in the presence of my lawyers. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that as well. In fact, given the circumstances and given the all the commentary that we have heard and seen, it was the smartest move for Ken Ofori-Atta to say, thank you, but no thank you. I will sit down with you when my lawyers are present. Because, as my senior rightly said, you have been looking for this man, not looking for him, chasing him. In fact, I think the more appropriate word would be hunting him across the corners of this world. Then finally you hear that a foreign government has him in custody. Then you reach out to him and say, we want to help you. Yes, you are mandated to extend such help. But smart as he is, he has turned down the help. This submission in no way contradicts my earlier submission. That was on Friday, when I said his family, his children should begin talking to him to come back home. I also have said that we should begin considering national pride, and that the position he's in, it doesn't only soil his name, but also the good name of Ghana. But I'm just trying to separate the issues. And in doing so, the point I'm making is simple. It was well within Mr. Ofori-Atta's rights to say what he said, given the circumstances. The suspicion has no place in this. I mean, it's also not possible that they could have entered into that meeting with him, then they will sneak him out some back door and say, you are our citizen, we are carrying you. That can never happen. It won't happen. So, I mean, it may not even so much be in they trying to, steal him out of the detention center. No, because if you do that, then you have a problem with the U.S.
Right.
But it has to do with what he is likely to say or not say. What a smart consular officer may decide to, in terms of information, sneak past him and solicit from him, eliciting from him without his knowledge or without his, not his knowledge, his attention. You are in a situation, your mind is not so clear, then your people come to you, your people who are already looking for you. You will say something will slip past you that you may not even realize you have said it. And so I don't have a problem that, number one, he turned down the services on the condition
that his lawyers
should be present. So I think that there shouldn't be any mischief with this. It's as plain as it is. The mission in the U.S. is supposed to do what it did.
Right.
Whether there are a million other citizens in the U.S. needing that service, it's immaterial. It's irrelevant. It shouldn't even come up for discussion. They will all eventually get the services of the mission. It's a matter of time.
As quickly as Ken Ofori-Atta has gotten it.
If the circumstances were different, would we have been asking this question? If Ken Ofori-Atta was not wanted in Ghana, would we have been making that statement? No. So I think that in this situation, we are all playing the ostrich. It's not cool. Let's let it roll. The mission has done what it is supposed to do. If it did not do that, in fact, some could have even taken the mission on. Yes. So it's done its job. Let's clap for the mission for doing its job. It was now left on to the former finance minister to then accept or reject.
To read between the lines.
And he read between the lines and rejected. And the rejection is not even an outright rejection. He says that if my lawyers are present, I will sit down with you.
In fact, if you read the statement from the embassy, he said decline at that time.
That time, exactly.
You see that time. And the is it connotation or denotation, whatever it is, it is implying.
Which school did you go?
The one you went now. But
so for me, unless we are struggling very hard to read some meanings into this, I think everybody has done his job.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know that in situations like this, the public often draws conclusions not just from facts.
That's true.
Or from procedure. They draw their conclusions from the optics. Actions that lawyers describe as quashing, they're sometimes read by the public as evasion or even guilt. In fact, when the statement came from the Ghanaian embassy in the US, the commentary under the statement, if you check social media, was almost one way. That what is the man trying to hide? Why is he running away? I want us to step away from the legal and diplomatic mechanics for a moment and then look at the meaning people attach to these choices. Why do legal precautions like this, like insisting on lawyers before an engagement, trigger suspicion rather than reassurance in the public mind? Dr. Jonathan Asantiochiri, he's joining us right now for a conversation. He's a political analyst and the executive director of the African Institute of Strategic Studies. Doc, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Is this Adam?
My name is Noble Crosby Annan.
Crosby? Oh, okay, sorry.
No problem, Doc. So let's get right into it. Why do people instinctively associate silence or restriction with guilt, even when lawyers say it is standard advice? Why is it easy from the political lens? Because whatever happens, there are political undertones to this conversation. Why?
Why? Yeah.
So why do people associate? Why are people drawing these conclusions that this quashing that Kenneth Fureta is taking? Why is it being viewed as evasion or guilt from your political experience?
Well, you see, let me say good morning to you once again, and then wish you a happy new year, and colleagues in the studio as well, and your listeners. I mean, the option that Mr. Fureta has taken, well, it's all by his right. But you have to understand something. The opportunity that you got to serve in the MPP government was first on behalf of the party and then on behalf of government, of which you became a member of. So we have individual responsibility and corporate responsibility. So I usually tell my students, for example, that if you are giving a presentation and you allow only one person to do it, if that person comes, he does it on behalf of all of you. All of you will be standing there between the presentation. And so obviously it is corporate damage, corporate benefit. We sail together or we sink together. So it is no longer a kind of an individual decision, because the corporate damage that he is causing for the name of the MPP is very huge and incalculable, because per his posturing, you have something to hide. Because if for nothing at all, if you have decided that you are going to come, your wife has equally put in a word that once your whatever else, you will come. But if you look at his posturing and how he really wants to stay in the U.S., then it means that he does want to come. Now, when you create such an atmosphere, the only logical conclusion people will have is the fact that you have something to hide. As far as government is also concerned, and as far as accountability is concerned, and as far as the promise they gave the people of Ghana is concerned, he is an important item in the equation of unlocking so many beats that, persisted during their era. You can mention them, the SMLs, the ambulances, and all manner of deals that, as far as the current government is concerned, he is the one to unlock. So he's an important person as far as accountability is concerned. Because if you look at the list of charges alone that the SP has leveled against him, it tells you that he's an important personality in the unlocking business of accountability, of corruption, and so on and so forth. So his posture is not good for himself. What has happened to him is not only an embarrassment unto himself, somebody who was always wearing white, quoting Bible, portraying such a character of holiness. This is something that you don't have to, bring onto yourself. And I'm saying that this time around, it is not only onto himself. The damage, the corporate damage, is on the name of the party that he belongs to. That is the MPP. Now, MPP is trying to get their loins and come back in full force, come from 31st January and beyond. So this is not good for the corporate image of the party and how they want to get out, of where they find themselves, today. And so I think that this kind of embarrassment is not only himself, his family. The Oforia test name. People have had cause to talk about the Akufo-Addos, and that line. And so, if such a person, you have done so well in the private sector, you own so many businesses, so I don't know why you will want to chicken out from this. I've had others suggest that probably the environment is poisoned, and that's the more reason why he doesn't want to come. I think that is post-event rationalization. And I think that nobody, even an armed robber, has every reason, to have a lawyer to have his day in court. You see, let alone somebody who rose to the position of a finance minister. Over 7 solid years of holding that particular position. Even when you were sick, your brother, the former president, left that position for you to recuperate, to come and take over. All of these things, created some kind of doubt in the minds of people and suspicion.
Right.
Because what is it that you cannot replace him if indeed, he's not well? And apart from that, even when he was not performing, you had over 90, MPs from the ruling government come to the president. You need to change the person. In all of this, the president did not hearken. It was until his own time that he had to decide that, okay, let Dr. Aminanta, take over. So you have created a number of suspicions, and this has not been, is not good for the public image, it's not good for the political image of the party and himself.
Doug, how does government change the narrative from appearing to be or to include some form of political persecution to completely and wholly a legal battle to unravel wrongdoings?
Your question again. I didn't get
what I'm asking is, based on the current public commentary surrounding the entire situation, particularly the latest intervention from ICE and the need for his lawyers, there's the undertone of political influence. How does government, remove that underlining thoughts in the minds of people so that it becomes completely and wholly a legal battle, not a battle that includes political payback?
Well, it is very difficult to divorce the two. Whichever you look at it, it has political implications. But of course, there's definitely going to be a legal, economic battle and so on and so forth. But it also has some political, connotations. The point is that the current government promised Ghanaians accountability, and they listed a number of cases that they feel they are going to investigate, of which they brought ORA. And so there is a political capital out of that, but they are not politicizing it. The point is that there is the need for some kind of accountability. The man is the item for the puzzle, the core item to unlock the puzzle of a number of issues. And so it has both political implications. I don't think they have politicized it, but it also, the political survivability of the NDC, right, equally depends on some of these things. Because if they are not careful, the MPP will capitalize on that to suggest to every Ghanaian that the kinds of things that they said in opposition, leveling charges, allegations here and there against people, did not really see the light of day. And so you cannot overlook the political capital, that his presence and then the charges and then the legal, battle that will take place. You cannot divorce the two. I think that they come hand in hand. Whichever you look at it, obviously he's going to have his day in court. It's going to be a legal battle. But the political bragging right, of such an individual, a character that was portrayed like close to Jesus Christ and so on and so forth. But all of this, you cannot take away the political capital out of that. So definitely people make political capital out of that. It is also to ensure that the MPP stays in opposition for quite a number of years, right? Because they level charges and allegations of corruption. So they wouldn't want to create a falsity in the minds of Ghanaians that those things that they said were just political, they can make nonsense out of those allegations. But they should be on a firm grounding. They should come from a very firm grounding, not only legal, but obviously the political, capital out of that. The current Attorney General is a kind of personality who believes that, look, he will not go to court unless he knows he's going to win. And he has the full fact and evidence on the ground. So he seemed to be talking about offshore, mind-blowing things, that investigation that they have been doing and collaborating.
Right.
And so I think that this man is a rival, will probably douse all the political pressure. Probably others may even come in. Others may even come in through him. And so that is where probably he doesn't really want to come.
Dr. Osiri, thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Crosby. You're welcome.
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December. How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure.
Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Oh, turn it up!
Come into the mountains, sight and I grandfather.
It's time to drive you home in style with great music, the 411 and all your favorite songs, what's happening around town, and so much more. And in the headlines today, the two leading political parties have been addressing the public on allegations of corruption. The Black Stars coach has unveiled his squad for the upcoming games, and there are some interesting names. Pull up! The weekend is here and it's time to turn up. Get your dancing shoes on, Lego. We really do have it all. It's a premium mix of information and entertainment every single day on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio.
In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio.
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December. How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure.
Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Oh, turn it up!
Come into the mountains, sight and I grandfather.
It's time to drive you home in style with great music, the 411 and all your favorite songs, what's happening around town, and so much more. And in the headlines today, the two leading political parties have been addressing the public on allegations of corruption. The Black Stars coach has unveiled his squad for the upcoming games, and there are some interesting names. Pull up! The weekend is here and it's time to turn up. Get your dancing shoes on, Lego. We really do have it all. It's a premium mix of information and entertainment every single day on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio.
In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Strigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio.
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December. How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure.
Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Oh, turn it up!
Come into the mountains, sight and I grandfather.
It's time to drive you home in style with great music, the 411 and all your favorite stars, what's happening around town, and so much more. And in the headlines today, the two leading political parties have been addressing the public on allegations of corruption. The Black Stars coach has unveiled his squad for the upcoming games, and there are some interesting names. Pull up! The weekend is here and it's time to turn up. Get your dancing shoes on, Lego. We really do have it all. It's a premium mix of information and entertainment every single day on 3FM 92.7.
To clear energy legacy sector debts. We'll be getting into that conversation soon. But in the meantime, sisters, I want us to talk about this. The illegal WASI registrations. Have you experienced some before? How common is it?
Which one?
You know, the registration of students who are not in Form 3.
So like Form 1?
Form 1 or Form 2. Form 1,
then
they
you
can't
go
register
right.
you. Form 2, then...
Form 2, then you go right.
Yeah, register.
Then who is saying it's illegal?
So the Ghana Education Service, it is not something they are happy about.
How?
No, they say that these students, a lot of the time, the teachers are doing this for the money, they say.
Not necessarily for...
and then there's no... They say that you should
not
only...
because the children are bright and have the potential of passing the exam.
If they are bright, they should be in Form 3.
It will be a waste of their time.
To do it?
I'm a parent. I'm paying school fees. Mm-hmm. Then I see that my child can write the BC even though he's in Form 2.
I'm talking about WASI.
WASI?
Yes.
WASI is SS?
Yes, SS.
I don't want to happen.
Yes, people do it.
Yeah,
no problem. We don't have a problem with Wabi. Free Form 1 and Form 3. Now go and register and write.
No, in Form 2, you realize that there is nothing you cannot write.
So then take
the National Science and Maths quiz is not Form 1s and 2s
no
who
problem.
come to sit for
Find
you.
a way to put the person in Form 3 and let the person go and write. That's what they are saying. Don't register in Form 2. That's what they are. Management of the GS, they have cautioned heads of senior high schools against the unauthorized registration of candidates for WASI. Mm-hmm. According to them, it has come to their attention some school heads are illegally registering Form 2 students and then private candidates for the examination, often in exchange for money. Management described the practice as unlawful and unethical.
So it's the money party, I guess.
Yes.
Of course, we all condemn that one.
GES clarified that heads of schools are authorized to register only Form 3 students whose academic progression from Year 1 to Year 3 can be verified and traced.
Read that again.
They say that. They clarify to heads of schools that they are authorized to register only Form 3 students whose academic progression from Year 1 to Year 3 can be verified and traced in the school's official database. Is that what you wanted to hear here?
No, but what you also said, you say if the person is good at, find a way of putting him in Form 3.
You can trace.
That way, no, you can't trace. No, it means that it's what we call jumping.
You
jumping.
Can trace
no
the
jumping.
Jump.
You know, Abiam was jumped from Abiam was P1, P6 to JSS2.
We are talking Wasi.
No, if I use the GSS, I will understand.
For basic education, a lot of schools do it. A lot of schools, they jump the students from maybe we have class 4, no, I could do class 6, from like class 5, GHS 1, that kind of thing. But for Wasi, if you are jump and register the person in Form 3. Don't register the person in Form 2. If you want to write your exams in Form 2, go and write NOVDEC. It is there for you. Me, I wrote NOVDEC when I was in Form 2.
But don't be part of the regular school system.
Don't be part and write Wasi when you are in Form 2. That's what they are saying.
Well, because we are on radio, I can't say the things I want to say. But
no,
I think that the GES...
I'll reduce your microphone. Nobody hears.
So they don't hear.
I've put your microphone on. No, this one you're talking to me.
Oh, you want to set up your own brother. You see? I told
I've put your microphone. You see, talk. Nobody's here.
It's fine. You see, I think the GS need to bring a lot more clarity to this policy. The same story is reported on page 5 of the Daily Democrat. And they say it is unlawful and unethical.
Yeah.
Unlawful meaning there's a law on it. Well, I haven't seen that law. I'm sure the managers of our schools have seen the law. And so we need to clarify that law. If people in Form 1 can represent their schools at national competitions like science and maths, like debates, like the NCCE one, and you say that they cannot write the exam even though their parents and the managers of their school have high confidence in them. I'm yet to see the policy reasoning for this.
I'm sure they are only saying that they are not disputing the intellectual capabilities of some of the students to be able to write and pass even better than those who have gone through the system, but just that the person should be in Form 3 at the time of writing the exam.
But you see, you are contradicting yourself in trying to explain or defend it.
They say that
if you don't have a problem with a person's intellectual capacity and capability, what is your problem with the person writing the exam? Before the Form 3. That is their problem. What is this whole ritual about the Form 3 anyways?
The Form 3 is the form that you write the exam in. That's what they are saying.
That's all.
That's what they are saying.
Not necessarily because Form 3 has something that you may not, the argument is not that you may not have fully exhausted the syllables, and you may not, even though you may pass the exam, you don't fully understand some of the concepts, and that's not the argument.
They say that go to Form 3 and then register for WASI and write.
That is what they say.
If you are Form 3, nakotro.
Schools take pride in their pass rates.
It's like they are saying that if you know you are innocent, come to Ghana, come to court.
Again, the man is trapping me.
Let them declare you innocent.
He's trapping me again.
It's not anything. It's like, come, and then we'll finish it.
I think school managers have to have a sit down with GES and the ministry so that they can clarify this. Because look, if the person is competent enough to represent the school at national competitions, and in a lot of cases they win those competitions, why must they necessarily be in? If there's something about extorting monies from the students, that's an argument I can buy. That you see that this person, apart from his height and looking old, there's nothing else that should warrant him registering for the exam whilst in Form 2. Then you go and push him to register. Clearly, you are motivated by the money.
Let me give you another example. So it's like, you see, Black Stars and then under 17. Okay. You are, yes, we'll do the energy conversation soon, but you are a very bright football player, but you are 16 years old. So you are the best under 17 player there is in the world. And then you want to play for the Black Stars. There's no problem. Come to the Black Stars and then come and play for the Black Stars. Don't stay at under 17. and train with under 17 and go to camp with under 17. And when Ghana is going to
That's
play,
a very bad example.
And when Ghana is going to play Japan, you leave the under 17 camp and come and go to the field
That's
and
a
go and
very
play.
bad
It's
example.
the same thing we are talking about.
Do energy. We'll come back to this.
At the Black Stars camp, come and train with the Black
You should
Stars.
have just stuck with the one that the example that you cited, the one that says come to Ghana and come and clear your name.
No,
don't sit somewhere and be shouting that you will meet consular officers because you think that they are trapping you.
Did I mention consular officer?
Government no yet pay the teacher, but pressure on teacher.
3FM Sunrise.
There's some good news this morning as government has announced it has paid $1.47 billion in 2025 to clear legacy energy sector debts that have threatened the stability of the power sector. And payments were made between January and December 2025 as part of a broader effort to reset the sector's finances.
No. Africa, mama, what's in the sub now?
Power generators, they have commended the government for settling a significant portion of the legacy arrears owed to power generation companies, describing the move as a major step towards stabilizing the country's energy sector. So far, it's been very stable, very, very stable so far. Now the payments have been made. Some significant amount has been made. Government says it has paid a total of $1.47 billion within its first year in office to clear long-standing energy sector debts and restore the World Bank's partial risk guarantee, marking what it describes as a decisive turnaround for the energy sector.
My brother.
Let's first start with how much of a good news or how important is the payment of $1.47 billion to clear the debt that is within the energy sector. Then we'll talk about how the impact will be felt.
Okay, and so talking about how much of significant that is good news for Ghanaians because the energy sector is a critical sector of the Ghanaian economy. Without it, everything will more or less come to a standstill. And so for things that we used to battle with when it comes to energy sector payment or let me say legacy debt which used to cripple power generation, now that more or less seems to be a thing of the past because financial injections will help ensure power stability of continuous power supply. And so that is good news for Ghanaians because now we can be guaranteed of continuous power generation. And that would be good news for businesses and livelihoods as what we used to experience in the past, which used to be doomsday or continuous doomsday, will not be something that we will be experiencing in a year 2026 going.
Now, we understand this payment is also restoring a World Bank guarantee. Part of the payment went to fully restore the $500 million World Bank partial risk guarantee that is tied to natural gas supplies. What is that and what difference does that make? Explain it for us.
And so on the back of that is just some restoration of investor confidences because the World Bank is a known institution that is recognized across the globe. And everybody knows that when you are doing something with the World Bank guarantee, then it means that you have some credibility. Now, here lies the case where we used to now battle with ensuring that we continue to improve our fiscal
let me say, money or let me say revenue generation. Those things became a neck around, an albatross around our neck. But realize the case now, we have some improved revenue generation, and so that means that there's some restoration of investor confidence. Because anybody who wants to deal with the government of Ghana in terms of the energy sector knows that at least there's some restoration when it comes to credibility with the World Bank.
So now we're having some investor confidence in the energy sector. So what can we use that investor confidence for?
And so for you to have investor confidence into the energy sector, it's good because, one, if you look at the year 2024, 2023, the major sector players in the energy sector, the ENI, were all relocating to the neighboring countries like Cote d'Ivoire to Burkina and Co. They didn't have the confidence in the macroeconomic indicators of the country. They couldn't guarantee that Ghana, if there's any investment, they could reap the benefit out of it. There was none of those sorts. And so for you to be able to have investors now having confidence in your economy, that is going to channel more resources, going to channel more patient capital that could have been channeled into other countries, into the economy of Ghana. When that happens, one, you continue to get that stable supply of power. Two, the economy of Ghana will get the jobs where people will be looking for jobs and co. The revenue and the taxes that would have come will also endure to the benefit of the country, and that will become a haven, or let me say a friendly environment for people to do business with. So here lies the case. Investor confidence is back. It will ensure that we continue to generate or ensure stable supply of power, and other businesses in the value chain will want to also relocate to Ghana because power becomes the major critical sector of the economy.
But even after this payment, there appears to be a continuous run of a fiscal shortfall. And I'm talking about cost exceeding revenue, which government still needs to cover. So for 2026 and going forward, how much more do we need to pay, and how do we deal with it? Or just the payment we have made now should be enough?
All right. So the government of Ghana had some renegotiation with these independent power producers, and then there's a timeline, or let's say a roadmap as to how much they should pay. Now, so for the year 2025, they've been able to clear a total debt of almost $480 million. Or let me say in total, regarding the energy sector, that is around 1.47 billion. That is good news. It means that if they continue with that trajectory, then it means that there will be, within the shortest time, the elimination of those legacy debts. Now, the good news is that what used to cause those legacy debts have been revised so that we do not repeat the same mistakes. So, one, there wasn't a fuel cost when it comes to the power generation. And so it used to be an albatross on the neck of government. Now, for the year 2025, we saw that there was that introduction of the 1 Ghana cedi levy for fuel. It was supposed to take care of the fuel cost in terms of power generation. So it means that going forward, what used to be a cost will not be a cost anymore. The second part of it is the cost-reflective tariffs. Over the past years, we've not been able to continue with the cost-reflective tariffs. So sometimes subsidies and co comes in, sometimes the non-compliances, sometimes the people doing the illegal connections and co. All those things, we see that there's some structural adjustment such that now ECG is able to even rake in the needed revenue to be able to comply with the cash waterfall mechanism. So things that used to accumulate or cost the debt are things that have been eliminated. So if these legacy debts, the roadmaps are being followed judiciously, then it means that what used to cause this debt will be a thing of the past. And then Ghanaians will be able to have, let me say, a free sector where the cost, the debt will not pile up, and then future generations will have to pay for.
I see. So going forward, from where you sit as an expert in the energy sector, what does government need to do so we don't find ourselves in the hole we found ourselves earlier?
All right. So what government needs to do is to continue the reforms that it is doing, because what we can see is that the reforms are yielding positive benefits. And so if it's yielding the needed benefit, then whatever thing that they are doing, they have to continue. But as stated, the major issue got to do with revenue mobilization within the energy sector, because what ECG needs to do is to distribute the power, make it the needed revenue, and use that one to take care of all those in the value chain. So anytime that ECG is not able to perform very well, it becomes a debt on the books of government. So for ECG, they must be able to ensure that there is some efficient and improve revenue mobilization in terms of billing and the revenue. And so when that is done, especially if maybe they're working in the private sector to have a private sector participation in the billing and the revenue collections, then it means that we are going to have a good book. We are going to have a good reflection on our books. When that also happens, it means that government is not going to commit more revenue into shortfalls that will have emanated from people who will be bypassing the system. And so we expect that the government of the day, through the ECG, will have improved revenue mobilization in terms of billing and revenue collection. That will be able to take care of all those in the value chain.
And if we're looking at, increasing capacity, we understand it's fine already, but if we're looking at doing more than what we're doing already, maybe in the contracts or the tariff structures or the revenue and the fiscal outlook in general, what more will we need to do in terms of long-term strategic options, structural reforms to ensure that the sector is financially self-sustaining away from, the work of the ECG, and then balancing energy affordability with investment needs?
All right, so if you talk about capacity, currently, Ghana, we more or less do enjoy excess capacity. What it means is that if you are to bring all our thermal plants, the hydro and the renewable sources on board to operate at full efficiency, that means that we should be able to generate enough power to power all the households and, to meet our peak demand and probably even have some excesses. But, we continue to say that we want to be the beacon of hope for Africa. And so for businesses to thrive, for industries to expand and grow, then it means that you must be able to make enough room for power generation, because to generate power, it's not done within just a day. But if you are looking at affordability, then we must be looking at ways where we can be able to generate power at cheaper costs. So one, we should be able to have a coordinated effort into the renewable energy mix, where we should be able to accelerate investment when it comes to renewable energy generation, because that is cost efficient, it's more sustainable to small and medium scale enterprises. The second part of it is that what we use to generate power when it comes to the usage of this refined petroleum product is quite expensive. And so we should be able to make use of the natural gas. So if it's the natural gas, I was glad when I heard about the expansion of the Atwabo gas phase 2, because we can get enough gas from that angle, and that can be used to generate power. It is more efficient to generate power using the natural gas than depending on the refined petroleum product, which is more cost expensive. And when that happens, it's more or less to translate onto the billing, then the final payment for consumers, and that becomes expensive. When that happens, it cripples businesses. And so make use of the natural gas. All investments into natural gas generation must be expedient so that we can be able to make use of it. The other good news is that our thermal plants do not depend on only the refined petroleum products, that's the petrol or diesel. Some of them make use of the natural gas, some of them make use of the petroleum products. So at any point in time where we have a shortfall of natural gas, it means that we can depend on this refined petroleum products as an alternative. At other times that these refined petroleum products will not be available, we are looking at cost-efficient measures that we can continue to make use of the natural gas. So these are long-term strategies that, when implemented, Ghanaians within the shortest time will be able to have cost-reflective tariffs that will be more affordable.
Derek, I'd like to thank you this morning. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Derek Hatcher is a senior research analyst at the Institute for Energy Security. Made in 2025. Altogether, the Ministry of Finance has paid approximately $1.4 billion in the 2025 fiscal year to rescue and restore Ghana's energy sector. Some good news there. Yes, 60s.
Is that the same debt that we had been collecting? Energy sector levy for 8 years. That's the same one.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's the same one
that had not been paid for the 8 years.
Yes.
Same one.
When the energy minister took office, said we had just about 24 hours of.
Yes. It's the same thing that occasioned that.
Yes.
Okay. So it is part of that amount that Mahama has paid in 1 year.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Any more questions?
So how much is left?
Listen to the song Abiam is playing with Chiamaka Inama.
3FM
I tell you that this man, you woke up on the agenda.
No, but that's not all. Abiam, Mahama has not paid all. He has not paid.
He has paid significant amount.
Corey says he has paid half of. Corey, is that it?
Almost.
So Corey says in 1 year, Mahama has paid half of the debt that accumulated over a period of 8 years. Okay, yeah. He says I'm representing him well. So by next year we'll clear all.
Okay. We're here.
So it's the same amount that the 1 Ghana cedi replaced. And
well, kind of. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, the same thing. 1 year. Wow.
Sisters don't olo.
Hajia is reading the news today.
Yes.
Hajia is reading the news.
Hajia,
how are you?
Noura Mohammed.
Hello, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I've never been on this one before.
I have.
The morning show.
Yes.
We'll cut them.
Last week I was.
The way sisters are started, we'll cut them.
Okay.
We'll cut them.
I probably missed you by a couple of minutes, but I was here.
Oh, Hajia. You are reading the news this morning.
I am.
So that's our package for you this morning.
I feel like there's something else you're not saying, but
no, there's
I'll get to the bottom
I just
of it
wanted
later.
to say happy birthday to the person that we are supposed to wish. That's all.
Oh, there's one wish today.
I don't know. I'm just saying happy birthday.
Happy birthday to anyone celebrating on the 12th of January.
Right. My name is Noble Crosby and the Sisters don't olo.
But Hajia sounds morning newsy.
Really?
The man lacks vocals. Come and watch my Facebook. Hajia sounds
morning newsy.
Why did you kill the mic? Why did you kill the mic?
With Noura Mohammed. Good morning.